precinct's a really special place. They provide an opportunity for you to come together, to meet your neighbours.
Precinct meetings are special in a way that you meet people from your district.
The more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
I'm pretty active on the precinct because there's a lot going on in Charing Cross. It's a really great place to be.
A strong precinct system is just a buffer to make council accountable for a lot of decisions they make.
The community and the precinct committees are that opportunity to bring those issues to a group of people who have a great line up to Waverley Council, and Waverley Council does take us seriously.
It's amazing what wisdom there is in the community.
Please come along to your precinct meetings. They're a great opportunity to have a say and to meet your neighbours.
Precincts until we were discussing it.
I have not heard of precincts other than from movies about police stations.
Precincts are resident committees. They are run by residents for residents, and within Waverley LGA we have 13 precincts.
They raise issues of concern to the local community that council officers or councillors may not be aware of. And they also are a really important line of input into council's strategies, programs and projects. For example, a precinct might provide input into a small footpath upgrade or tell us where there's a local problem with the road or where there's traffic congestion, up to providing really meaningful input into a huge program or project like a Bondi Pavilion conservation upgrade.
A precinct is a collection of residents and/or property owners who live in a defined area.
Precincts are groups of people that get together to discuss issues in their local area and report to the council.
Within the Waverley precinct system, the 13 precincts mirror the ward boundaries in our LGA. We have 3 precincts in Hunter Ward. They are the Rose Bay precinct, the Vaucluse Diamond Bay precinct and the Dover Heights precinct. As we come down the LGA, we look at the Bondi Ward, and within Bondi Ward there are 3 precincts. They are North Bondi, Bondi Beach and Bondi precinct. Then we have the Waverley Ward, and within Waverley we have the Bondi Heights precinct, the Bronte precinct, and we have South Bondi Tamarama. Then there's the last ward within the LGA is the Lawson Ward, and that takes in Bronte Beach precinct, Queen's Park precinct and the Mill Hill Bondi Junction precinct. Charing Cross precinct is within Lawson Ward, but the boundaries of Charing Cross straddle 2 wards, so it falls within Lawson Ward and within the Waverley wards. Within Waverley local government area, precincts started in 1987 under the then Mayor Barbara Armitage, and the push for precincts back then and the momentum for them was they saw them as a chance for residents to be heard, and that legacy has continued over the last 34 years, and if anything their role has not only evolved but strengthened. So in the beginning they were a chance for residents to be heard, and in particular to be heard on major planning proposals or DAs that they were concerned about in the area. And what that has morphed into is a great opportunity to have a say.
We meet every couple of months. It's an open invitation to anyone in the community can come along. It's a very inclusive, very diverse, very exciting meetings really, because it's where the community gets to raise really significant issues that are impacting their life and living in Waverley.
You can have as many as 100 and as few as 10.
There's the sort of a band of the usual members who turn up every meeting. Obviously, with COVID, we've been doing it on Zoom, I'm yet to actually have an experience where we're all face to face. It's been a long time since we met in the Seagull room at Bondi Pavilion where we used to meet. There's usually sort of general business, there's an acknowledgement of First Nations.
I would like to start today by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet.
And then it's open for discussion. So if people want to be involved, they can get in touch with the convener, myself, and we will put their issue on the agenda so that people are very confident that they're turning up and they've got a slot to speak.
You don't need any particular experience to get involved with your local precinct. You don't need to be a town planner or understand anything about planning really. You just need a bit of time, enthusiasm and an interest in getting something done that's positive for your community.
You don't need any specific skills or experience. You've just got to be passionate about your local community and come to the table with issues of concern to you that would be of interest and you want council to do something about.
The key thing is you need to be enthusiastic, and with most people it's a learning experience.
I think it's probably passion, enthusiasm. I'd counsel anyone who's interested in getting involved to not sit there thinking, oh, I don't know enough, or I don't know how to run a meeting. It's a very inclusive, friendly space, and we all teach each other how to do those things. And ultimately, it's really about getting together and having a really good chat about what it's like to live in Waverley.
I went along to a precinct meeting because they were talking about bicycles. And the next thing I knew was I was precinct convener.
The fact that they're still going really strongly in the community and have been for 34 years is a huge achievement, and they are thriving.
We look after some of the regular issues such as mowing of verges, collection of rubbish when there's a problem there, as well as fighting some of the big developments.
Often we'll talk about the impact of tourism, what the opportunities are for the residents as well as the business community.
For example, with the pubs and hotels, that's been instrumental. The precinct's been instrumental in managing some antisocial behaviour from the pubs in the past.
Currently, probably our biggest issue is Mitchell Street and vibration damage, and that's something that has been going on for 25 years or longer, and council is now revisiting it and looking at options.
We have consistently over the years at the Bondi Beach Precinct Committee really tried to hold big developments to account to make sure that we get the best possible outcomes for the community, the best possible outcomes for the residents who are going to be affected by that development, both while it's being built and after it's been built. And we've worked very, very hard and very consistently over the years with council to ensure that what we love most about Bondi is preserved as much as possible, and that includes the environment as well as the built environment.
I go to precinct meetings to find out about what's going on in the local area, to raise any concerns I have with issues that may have come in the mail to me or via email that the precincts are very involved in. So they send out informative stuff about developments that are going on.
Coming to the city, we're lucky enough to actually have a precinct system which gives you the beauty of a country feel in the city. It's a chance to be part of the community, to get to meet everybody and to do something about local issues. And we are incredibly lucky to have a precinct to go to.
Look, I've been involved with the precinct because of things that I see happening in the neighbourhood which I think could be better.
Years ago, I didn't know some of the people in my street, and they started to come to the precinct. Now we're very good friends. We garden together, we do various things like that.
I like meeting my neighbours and getting to know my neighbours, and I think it's an excellent way that you can become more involved with your community and actually contribute something that's fantastic.
I've lived most of my life in Bondi, and growing up in the 50s, it was very much a village, where these days you don't know everyone in your street. And I think that precincts allow you to know far more people than you would otherwise.
I've been involved with the precincts for over 15 years and yes, they can be very social.
I've made some very good friends over the years of the precinct meeting, and if it's a good night and we all agree, it's social. Otherwise, particularly where dogs are involved and off-leash areas and swimming at the beach, then it becomes not so social.
Every meeting is probably a good social get-together, and there's really lovely relationships, and it's great to see how strong friendships and bonds are formed in each of the groups that I attend. Every year Council facilitates an end-of-year get-together with all of the precincts, which is a really lovely event. But I know that individual precincts do run their own out-of-session social get-togethers, which is a lovely way to get to know each other and, you know, tap into your local community.
After going to a few precinct meetings, you do get to meet and you get to know people and you meet them on a regular, semi-regular basis. In that respect, I guess it's a social activity.
I think we need to involve more people in our local area, and that means getting more young people involved, as well as older people, as well as working people. Now that can be a bit demanding, but I think it's important that everybody becomes involved.
To get me to come to a precinct meeting, there would have to be an issue that personally affected me one way or another. It's not like in this day and age we have a lot of spare time on our hands, so it would have to be something that affects me or interests me a lot for me to go to one, if I'm honest.
I don't know much about precinct meetings, but if there was something that was going to change significantly in the area that I didn't agree with, then that would bring me to one.
We have had a few young people show up and they've been embraced by the crowd. They've got some very interesting ideas. We've had some very good feedback.
To engage with younger people, maybe we need to be heading down the road of social media. We have been having Zoom meetings lately. Maybe that's something that young people may be more interested in. I think generally young people are building their lives and may have, although now, I mean, with the climate crisis, I think young people are really getting engaged again, which is fantastic and much needed. So maybe we will see more young people emerging, and particularly if we encourage them.
But I think that the younger generation, Gen Z and millennials, are really, really focused on a lot of really big issues, such as the environment and community. And I think that the more younger people that get involved, the better off we all are, because that makes us more diverse, it makes us more inclusive, it makes us more representative. And we need that younger community.
I think the online access to meetings, hopefully that helps participation, but also using other types of social media like TikTok, for example, that'd be a good one. Precinct doing TikToks to encourage young people to participate in the decision-making process, but things like Instagram, Facebook, things that let people know what's happening, and also letting people know that they don't have to contribute immense amounts of time. They can turn up to meetings, once a year when an issue is relevant to them.
When you see something happening in your local area, you don't like it, you often throw your hands up in the air and think, why did they do that? Well, why not become involved in it? Don't ignore it. Invest some time in the precinct, get involved across all age groups, and you will pat yourself on the back and you will do something positive for the local area.
I would encourage everybody to go to their local precinct meeting and find out about what's happening in council.
I'd encourage you all to come along to a precinct meeting, come along, join us, bring your energy, bring your good ideas, and be part of our community.
Locals should be involved in the precinct because it's for them.
People learn a lot about the precinct system if they just attend a meeting.
Just bring yourself and be prepared to be open, transparent, have a great time and get involved.
For anyone out there that really cares about living in Waverley and wants to see Waverley become an even better place to live, come along to your local precinct committee meeting and get involved. Have a say and meet us all. We would love to see you.
So get on the Waverley website, find out more about precincts, turn up to your next meeting and get to meet all of your local community and have a say about making Waverley even better than it already is.
Whether you're young or old, please come along to your precinct meetings. They're a great opportunity to have a say and to meet your neighbours.